trying to get my face like close up sometimes. Fingers.
Let's see. Let's go.
How's that? Go around.
Good.
Let me check it.
I zoomed in towards the end.
I think I like the zoom in look. It's
Yeah,
kind of like
zoom in looks not
yeah,
bad.
yeah. This is cool, man.
Go like towards
Oh, this is really beautiful.
How was that for an intro for you guys?
Thanks, boss. That was really beautiful.
How do you feel watching that back now, Frank? Is that must be like 10 plus years, right? That's like probably 10 more than 10 years ago.
I think that's like about around 10 years ago. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, so that was the on December 8th, 2014, the video is uploaded, so that 10 plus years ago. Almost 11 years now.
Yeah, that kind of gave me motivated. It psychs you up.
Is there any one of you guys that come into like our container CC bootcamp, but like don't know about that part of Frank? Like, is it a new thing for you guys that Frank can play the violin like that?
I didn't know that actually.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh,
No.
is it, I thought it was Albert.
Yeah. It's pretty cool.
Oh, Kaya's here. Kaya asked me what I think about all the hate that I get.
hmm. Oh, let me link that video for Chris.
Oh yeah, Chris is a musician.
Yeah, what do you think about all that hate, Frank?
Um, I'm pretty used to it by now, but like it's new because I think it's the first time that there's much hate since like 15 years ago. But
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
not like that much come from, I mean, it's not any more than what the kind of hate you used to get. But like I said, I'm more concerned about um, my partner. But
yeah.
she's doing fine. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, I
good.
think she handles a lot better than most people would, or
Yeah.
maybe than I did. Yeah.
Jace, was you about to say something, Jace?
No, not really.
Oh, your audio is pretty soft.
It is. Maybe I should.
No,
Oh,
it's good. It's pretty good now.
it's better now. Yeah.
Is it okay?
Yep.
Maybe I should just use the Mac, like the laptop mic.
It's good
Oh,
now.
you got a new device, right? Is it?
I got my MacBook, but I don't know if my big ass microphone works well with it. Yeah.
Oh, guess what? Guess what I got today? Ta-da! I just received this today.
Oh, wow.
We can do a live.
Changing.
I'm
Okay.
so
Hey, Jimmy.
jealous. Oh my
It's-
God.
Let's see. What did you get one?
Yeah, I got one.
Bro.
Show the back, Frank. Show the back. Yeah.
Yeah. You got to unblur
Oh,
your
but
background.
let's see.
It's censored.
It's our we designed it together. Me and John.
Mm.
Wait, hold on a second. How do I blur?
It's under video, bro. Video, blur my background.
I did.
There you go.
There we go.
Yep.
It's nice.
This
I
one,
can't
yeah,
wait.
nice.
Damn.
It's it just kind of it matches the hat, the Disney hat actually. I guess it's different colors. Is it different color for?
No, it's the same.
Oh, okay. Because it looks kind of green on camera. That's weird. All right, I'm gonna. I don't need to take this off.
Is he colorblind? Are you
Oh,
colorblind?
Not sure. I have many autistic symptoms. Colorblind. Might be one of them. Maybe new ones I discovered. There we go. All right.
Dude, does it pass the fit check, bro? Does it feel good?
That feels great.
Yeah. Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah.
It's actually it's thinner than I thought it was gonna be like a thick sweater, but it's thin. It's actually pretty thin. Yeah.
It's like
It's
airy.
like a
It's pretty good
t-shirt.
material because John made sure this is like the same material that Disney uses,
Ah.
or at least like the same company that Disney actually did their Spirit jersey with.
Spirit jersey.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Spirit jersey. Yeah. Well, I guess you can check out the bet.
Bro.
No, the next one is
Nice.
gonna be Mahasafa in the back, and like I don't know, sentient beans there with like little bean with like a bean casket with the like person's. I don't know. It's not even.
Oh, we have a Mahasawa one coming.
I think so, right?
I don't know. Gotta check with John, but I think the Mahasapa one will be the white. Will be white. White.
Hmm.
So you
Same.
mentioned we have different colors.
But okay, let's get our show going. I think today also gonna be a very special uh review. Let me spotlight myself. Chase, Frank, and Albert. All right, so we were just having Frank's 10 years plus video of him playing the violin. I believe that was in Taiwan. It was your rooftop at Taiwan, and Frank was just saying that it got Frank feeling a little bit motivated. So I think
To do
today,
what? Motivated to do
oh yeah,
what?
yeah, do what?
Exert more, get better at everything.
Hmm.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
It's an energy. I think it's energy if you just wanted to like, I don't know, be the best you can be, you know.
Hmm.
Oh, we can't hear. I can't hear you.
I know. I just was whispering.
Okay.
Pokemon. Sorry.
Wait, what about Pokemon?
I was just whispering the theme song. I want to be the best, like that no one would ever was.
Oh, yeah. Come on.
Pokemon? Gotta catch 'em all. Sorry. Intrusive thoughts. Yeah.
Do your best. Do your best and everything.
Oh yeah, and Albert was just saying that that's the part of Frank playing the violin that Albert wasn't that much aware of that whole skills and life that Frank had
Bro,
at
I
the
thought you were just a gym bro. I don't know like this side of you, like at all. Like, you know?
Dude, I used to get so mad when people call me that, or that you're just a meathead, or like you're
Yeah.
just, especially in Taiwan. When I did those videos that got
Yeah.
news, people were just putting me in a box of this guy is just dumb. He's just a meathead. That got me
Yeah.
so pissed off, more pissed off than anything. That's why I started to play violin more and like read philosophy and that stuff. I wanted to prove those people wrong.
Yeah. Fuck this
I'm not
guy.
just, I'm not just a meathead, bro.
I mean, it's the violin that got me.
The
I
what?
was like, oh, he can play the violin.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's
Yeah.
usually the video. I remember this is one girl that I dated like a long time ago around that time, and she was new to my content because I met her on Tinder, and then sometimes I'll just show her a bunch of random videos, and then she was like, "Okay, this video is the only video you need to show if you want to get girls. You don't have to
Yeah.
show them like it is or that or try to explain anything. Just show them this video, and that's it."
Yeah. Yeah. I think so. I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, it makes
Yeah,
me wet, so I get
it
it.
makes you wet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Question right there.
Take your G string,
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
G
juicy.
spot G string.
Yeah. And I think coming to this, like, because a lot of our training is also kind of like a spiral, right? It's like a theme that get repeated again and again. One of the theme was in week 3, how we talk about there is a sense of mental structures, the narratives coming in, and then week 5, we talk about how there's an illumination of being. Now you see your karmas coming out, and in week 8, we talk about time and how it's our life unfold. And so, uh, yeah, I think
That,
it's a pretty
that's
interesting.
interesting. Yeah, when you speak about time, we had a discussion around karma and time about how like if you untangle karmas or repattern karmas here in the present, like all the karmic resonancy and all this similar patterns, the nodding, the twisting would be resolved as well in the past and the future.
Yeah.
vice versa. Yeah. And then speaking of time also, like the reason why violin or even film is so interesting is because it's sculpting time, right? Sculpting space time. Like the space between the fingerings, the space between the fingerboard, the space between one note to another is literally the different vibration of time, which that manifests into this spatial dimension of like, oh, the space between two notes. Or if I want to jump from this note to that note, or from like this passage to that passage, there's a certain time dimension that reinforces space and vice versa.
Yeah.
Sculpting time, right? And then
Just also just looking at that video, you were just playing the violin right now. There's literally like this motion as well, right?
yeah, it's very
Motion as well.
it's you
And
literally sculpting
yeah.
the fabric of space time.
And also it's I find it interesting because the piece was like about 12 minutes plus long. And I could find like, oh, it's actually take exertion to even enjoy this because like it's long enough that you get distracted while still listening.
Yeah, yeah. I remember showing Ed. Remember you were there. We were showing Edward the Tchaikovsky Violin Concerto, and he was like halfway through. He's like, "Frank, I love this. This shows me so much about you, the universe and human suffering, but I can't take this anymore. This is too much." His
Yeah.
brain was gonna explode.
It's like it actually takes exertion to enjoy the entire kind of build up and then the many looping of this. Because there was like, oh, it's again and again and again. I thought it's gonna end, but it's again, again, and again, like that. So it's pretty interesting exertion to even enjoy and appreciate.
Yeah. Also, I think if you even to be able to feel exerted, you have to have certain skill to be able to listen and to be able to appreciate it. Because if you show like a random person who doesn't know anything about classical, he might enjoy it, or he might just, oh, I don't need. He might just like maybe fly over his head, quote unquote. But Edward does like classical music here, so that's
That's probably me, to
appreciate.
be honest.
What?
I imagine that there's a lot of things that fly over my head and I am not even aware or like could pick up on certain aspect of that piece. I would just see like, okay, like a little bit of it, but I can see like, okay, I don't even have the skills to listen to this.
That's interesting. Well, even I can't say I know like 95% of what goes on to the piece, and I can play that piece straight too. Because you can actually play a piece of music without knowing that much about it. Actually, that's why you need to catch up on like your on the theoretical understanding of a piece of music.
Mm,
Because like there are people in my music school who like could play really well, but then there would be like a weak point for them. The professor would be like, "Hey, you're really talented. You can play, but then you need to update or upgrade your this or that skill, theoretical skill, and maybe even play in orchestra or in a quartet. You need to relate to people, relate to other players. That's not a skill,
mm,
not just theoretical skills, but like what is the conductor trying to like express artistically? How do you interpret it and things like that. And it's not just theoretical too.
yeah.
Mm.
So yeah, I also want to get the show on the road because today I believe is a very special show. Uh, Tomorrow is Frank's 41st birthday. So a lot of today's Frank is I would like to invite you to take a trip to the memory lane to your own creation. So first of all, let's shout out, give some reaction. Um, Early birthday presentation for Frank. Woohoo!
Oh, thanks, Dad. Thanks, Con. Yeah, thanks everyone. I haven't celebrated my birthday in a while actually.
You about to fucking do it today, man.
Yeah, that's one of the things that I think John asked me when I was getting pinned. He's like, "When's the last time you had a birthday party?" I was like, I don't remember. Probably never." And
Yeah.
I guess this is a really special birthday party.
Yep. Well, you're about to see what we have in store for you. But okay, and we'll weave that right to the themes of what we're going through right now. Can you guys see the screen all right? See the scaring scene all right? Okay, yeah, wonderful. So it's about time. Doubt as training ground. I do believe that as right now we're in phase 3, we are still in very much the kind of ontological and now teleological shock of what is going on. What is really going on with my life? Do I still care about that thing? Am I a practitioner now? What is that? What does that even mean to be a practitioner after the experience with these kind of interaction? Because maybe before when we join a boot camp, before we really involved with this kind of training, here CC, we have certain notions of this, but a lot of us, like we were sharing, that we don't really discuss or talk with people in this much intensity, in this kind of immersion through a extended period of time. So now 8 weeks together, Yeah, it's even like, what is this path about? Maybe changing for us. New things coming out, new dimension of the path is revealing itself that, hey, I actually haven't worked on this aspect, but do I want to work on it now? Some of it's coming out in the form of, do we need to get more conceptual? Some of it is coming out in terms of like, do we need to actually tend to that topic, which we know we'll have to confront, but has been postponing it. We can't bypass that. So right here, of like new evidence, seeing like, okay, are we leaning out, disbelieving, or are we leaning in? Of like we're choosing to like, okay, cultivate faith, more of that. And it's been tough, it's been challenged, right? Frank was just saying also that Frank himself at the beginning of the week was also getting pinned, was also like precisely uh, having to work through his karma in a lot more way. So everybody in CC, from top to bottom, all of us, is training through these kind of terrains together. Nobody is idling, just chilling around here. If you do that, you get bounced out. It's not even like it's automatically bouncing you out because everybody kind of get after it, right? So if you're not exerting, you know,
Oh, that's interesting because since you played the Bach was like he made most of his composition because of God, right? I don't know what he believed in, but it was a lot of his organs for church.
yeah.
Yeah, and then but Bach himself was extremely calculated and mathematical.
Yeah.
So
That's
when we
reminds
talk
me
about
of like the entire drive of Newton's like earlier work,
yeah,
just
Newton's.
to
Yeah.
find God.
Yeah, and that's what we're saying is like faith isn't just blind faith, right? Because blind faith is actually just a doubling down the self view. But we're talking about faith that is a trainable skill.
Yeah. Faith based on reason, based on
Mhm.
evidence, based on inquiry, faith based on refinement. Yeah. The faith that comes out after purification is accomplished. So as this training ground, now we see just that. How are we traversing through this chasm? This doubt thing can show up in terms of dishonesty. We don't even know that we're being dishonest. It's like our honesty, our authenticity has a limitation. That's why coming as we are, as we see throughout the training weeks, like, oh, there is more part that I'm recognizing I'm not coming as I am. It's just literally a fitness thing. So it's like authenticity, honesty can be trained and it should be trained because there is resistance, right? There is a kind of like self-impeding kind of, I don't want to show myself that much. This feels too vulnerable. I don't want to come out in that way, so on and so forth. So dishonesty, literally, it's just not even a way, because sometimes when we say dishonesty, it's immediately like some kind of like a moralistic judgment kind of way. And we don't, when we feel like, but I am honest. Are we saying it? Yeah, but honesty and dishonesty comes together. When we're in doubt, it's just that the part of dishonesty now needs to be worked on more. It's fine to be dishonest. We expect us to be dishonest. We expect us to hide things from ourselves. Now, that's the whole point of training, right? So then we're purifying through those oscillations. It would be silly to like, oh, I'm 100% honest. No, we're not. We're not 100% honest.
Yeah, in a way, we're just training just to be ourselves. But there's a lot to that. And I don't know. There's in art and music. There's a lot of talk about like authentic expression too. Like, why do you train so many years? Go to art school to find your authentic expression. Is that a trainable thing or is it an intuition? What does it even mean?
Yeah.
It's a big question, right? Because everyone was like, "Oh, be yourself."
Yeah. And a lot of times we want to think of like being ourselves as like a 0 or 1 thing, right? It's like either I'm myself or I'm not myself. But what if it's like a range of expression? Is a gradients of how much authenticity can you bring to the table? Because there's things that push you back and don't allow you to be honest. So then like we have to train. But the other ways that the doubt can arise is also through distractions. Just literally we get pulled away. Literally we have to contend with other things, or literally just losing interest in this thing and more interested in that thing. We don't see that, oh, I've just got a switcheroo just happened. I don't even see it. Now suddenly I'm so caught up in this particular topic. Like I got baited into
Mm.
that.
Yeah, something about synchronization comes to mind. Like I think Machen also talked about like the matter of being synchronized into something and how that relates to time. I haven't worked it out yet completely, but when me and Mei-Chun were talking about, sometimes we talk about like classical music, art, and things like that. I get really excited, and he was like, "Oh, my art is time." He told me my art is time, like about his transmission, how he does transmission. Literally, it is playing with the fabric of time and space. I was like, oh, I can relate to that kind of.
Yeah.
Mm.
So then at this point is then with the distraction is how are we holding our intention? Like what are we about, right? That is then become like, okay, you have to design. You have to literally deciding is cutting away. That thing is now be considered as a distraction because we decide that it's a distraction. But before that, we like, I don't know which one to choose. Should I go right here or should I go there? Like, you have to be intentional. What are you about?
Yeah.
And
Certain level of commitment is required.
and at the point between going from distraction to intention is very hard, right? Because at that point, we don't know if it's a distraction. We feel like, okay, I really have to do that. But that's why it's a distraction.
Yeah, when you're distracted, you're not synced up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't see that you're distracted. And the other thing aspect with doubt is just an overall sense of aversion, just like not here, not now. It's not here, not now. Something else, please. So whatever way that we're trying to just like manipulate, alter, just want to feel a little extra good, want to absorb a little bit deeper, want to find the inside that's hit a little bit like more, all of that could be under the aversion. Why are you trying to meditate so much? Why are you hiding? Why are you always in meditation? Why can't you?
It's so ironic.
Yeah, it's so funny, right? Like, oh, I'm meditating so much. Yeah, but what if that's exactly the aversion to your life? Like it's one of the it's many of the kind of I'm sure that Albert knows of these kind of stories. Like get sent as a pith instruction, go in retreat and don't meditate. Like, what do I do for the next 3 months?
Dude, it's so funny because it's not until recently, maybe in the last year, that I stopped feeling bad if I don't meditate for one day. Yeah, because also like in the beginning of one of the slides, you were saying how they keep changing, right? Like what you're about on this path keeps changing. It used to be like the sit was the most important thing, whatever you experienced during the sit. But not so much anymore when you start to go deeper and see the inseparability between like sit and everything else.
And it's a tricky thing because like so much fitness is required to train up, and we do that through meditation and contemplation and all that. But then also very quickly that practice become corrupted to become a thing that like the shiny object that oh I'm getting my hours as long as I'm getting my hours in, I don't need to think about anything else. I know I used to think like that, just like as long as I'm doing this, I don't have to care about anything else, like some sort of a safety blanket.
Yeah, it's like your weakness becomes your strength, and your strength becomes your weakness. That was one of the things we talked about yesterday at the BFF show. And also this week, how like you can utilize your strength to suppress some of your weaknesses or some of the things that you don't want to look at. You can rely on your talent. Yeah.
I was
So
going to
then
say
with
that.
that, oh, go ahead, Jace.
Oh no, finish your point about aversion. Yeah.
Yeah, so then precisely then we train to be a good sport of like invalidating ourselves and be willing to that. Like, yeah, maybe I need to change my way. Maybe I need to reconsider that this thing isn't working and I need to a new direction and re-strategize myself and be willing with that kind of like course correction.
The willingness to be wrong.
Yeah, willingness to be wrong.
Mm.
And we're saying
Yeah.
all of this is rest and recognize, but it has so many dimensions to it. Rest and recognize doesn't naturally mean like meditating and getting to deep absorption. Doesn't necessarily mean that.
Yeah, and sometimes it's I think for a lot of people, like the dishonesty, the distraction, and aversion happens concurrently, which is why sometimes it can feel like it's very overwhelming or it's a mess actually. like most likely it happens like more than one thing is happening at the same time. Like it's not so clear cut that it's just distraction. It's not so clear cut that it's just aversion. And I would think that a lot of people, I mean, even when they are in aversion or in distraction, there is, it's very easy to go to the space that you think that you're just coming as you are. Like
Coming as
I
you
feel
are
like eating.
becomes a bypass point.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm coming as I am. I'm like an asshole.
Yeah. I'm just gonna eat this ice cream. I want this ice cream now. Like, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, because in those moments, like, sure, come as we are, but then we're ignoring the intent of like, oh, I'm holding the intent of I want to destroy myself by eating that ice cream. But am I aware of that self-destruction, self-sabotaging aspect? And it's because I'm clinging to a certain kind of negative state and I can't be a good sport. I can't be willing to be wrong. I was like, coming as I am, but like lacking intentionality and just being a sour loser. Like it's just being salty. Yeah, salty. Yeah. Being very salty about
Yeah.
it. Why are you hating? Yeah. But yeah, so we're on traversing through this chasm. It's been week 2 of phase 3, and I do believe we probably gonna still spend some time here because there's a lot of things that we're sorting through. So many life habits, so many projects that we think that we should be on, but now we're reconsidering it, or new trajectories, new direction. So yeah, like when we're saying doubt is the training ground. It's not a bad thing that if you feel doubtful, you must get rid of it. Like no, like we're saying dishonesty, distraction, and aversion, it's just precisely the obstacle that strengthen our fitness. It's not a problem in that way.
Yeah, that's what they say. Doubt actually strengthens your faith. What you can't have faith without certain amounts of doubt or working through certain amount of doubt.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like how fear highlights your courage, right? It comes together. So then we're seeing like, okay, through working through this pattern, we're now seeing more and more about afflictive contracts, the way we relate with life, the way we relate within ourselves and with other people, or with just the environment at large, how much unconscious we are in terms of our context, like what's going on. We don't see how we are constantly choosing separation. I think many discussions talking about like there is an ongoing separation because we choose to be separated. We want to have our little freedom so that we fight back. We fight back. No, my little freedom. This is what I want. Get away in that way. Yeah, so you choose separation. But then it's also not asking like just give up what you have, right? A lot of us are not willing to make that kind of move. So then how do we cultivate trust to open? Right. So then it's kind of like, okay, coming to next, and we all have our emotional system is just disorder. It's just like whacked out of line. So then how do we align it? How do we feel into all these emotions? Some part is like raging out, some part just want to sob on days, and some part just want to have fun, like, but they don't talk to each other. So sure, there's some part of that requires a therapeutic kind of approach. Some part of it just requires you to de-escalate from your busy lifestyle. Some part of it requires you to take tremendous amount of action. Then yeah, but if we do those things, can we go beyond the current identities? I'm like, oh, but I'm not somebody like that. I can't take action because I haven't been taking action. But then we see like, but then you consider in your identities. You're not wanting to change. You're not willing to change. Yeah. So from that, consider identities. Now you also seek relief. So we just spin the cycles. You spin and spin and spin and spin and spins. And then we see more of this. And because of our willing to be wrong, yeah, it feel dicey and like rubber meets the road in this way. But this entire thing is not a problem. Because this is what the practice and the training is about. To see more about like how we are constantly choosing separation, how we are ignoring our context, how in the process of seeking relief, we're not willing to surrender our conceited identities, and how emotions are so disordered in that way. It's not a problem. We just see the contracts and then we renegotiate it. So then most recently, we also talk about the process of making merits in CC, how that there's cycle of accountability. And if we can B with this, we're saying like, okay, we're making merit. So what do we mean by this? So it means that at a very little amount of lucidity, meaning like we don't really know what's going on, but at least we have an intention to recollect ourselves, to remember, to be aware. Sati, sati, sati. Right? To be mindful of our conduct, right? To remember, like, okay, I have this intention. All right, today I want to do this, blah, 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 blah. So all the kind of like daily plan, weekly goal, monthly objectives, all those things is just to allow us to like, okay, do I still care about that? Am I still about that? And just constantly recollect our own intentions, just again and again. And then based on that, we can start and have data based on that recollection to then trace our patterns. So like, oh, I do have a pattern. Some of the recent conversation have been about abandonment issues. Oh, I do have a pattern about commitment. Oh, I do have a pattern about safety and vulnerability. And then do we dare to take the next step of total accountability, which is, but I'm responsible for how I feel and how I act. So how I want to show up. So by taking total accountability, now we take back the agency that I have the power to change this, my own behavior, my own way of relating with this. And it's an expectation of making merits that everybody do this. Otherwise, we kind of trace the pattern, but we don't close the recognition loop because then we expect other people to change. And now it's dicey because what if they don't change? Then are you going to suffer the rest of your life because they don't change? That it doesn't make sense, right? Like it's just not a good contract of like depending our well-being based on other people's behavior. But then it's just a constant like, I want you to change for me. No, I want you to change for me. And just back and back and back and back like that.
That sounds like hell. That's why Sartre said hell is other people.
Yeah, but it's tricky, right? Because we live in a way that is so much interdependency, codependency, enmeshment, boundary issues, people stepping on people's toes, all those things. So what does total accountability mean for us? Does it mean like we need to like, bro, you need to back off? Or does it mean like, hey, I'm interested to knowing how I'm wrong. Can you explain your point again? Like, how does that show up for us, right? It could show up in many ways. And not an easy answer because total accountability literally means the point of phase 2, which shout out to Taylor. The document is ready to be unleashed this weekend. So a lot of bangers in there. But the point of phase 2 training, building up that pressure cooker, is to have the capacity to hold total accountability for extended period of time. Like, what if I am the master of my fate? Like, what if I just decide to be happy?
Also, I think Machen also keeps on saying that it's impossible to not get what you want, or like whatever is happening in your life is actually exactly what you wanted. Even if you feel like explaining it away, it's like that's not what my plan was or whatever. It's like also, otherwise it wouldn't manifest if you somewhere in you is you really wanted that, even if that's rejection or abandonment.
Right. Because then we were seeing like, okay, the point of week 5 training, illuminating the being, we see like, oh, so the unconscious part have a lot of say-so in the way I conduct myself. It's not just a conscious part. I can say this is what I want, but my conduct say otherwise because of there's more subconscious parts of myself that's pulling the strings. So I need to illuminate my being to even know what they are, the other parts that is sometimes just flip in and make decisions, or I can only see them in hindsight. But how do I know when they arises right now?
Or the other way around. I say this is not something I want, or this is not the contact I want to have. But everything else, from other people's perspective, that's exactly what you're doing. You keep doing the thing you say you don't want to do.
Yeah. I mean, even when you see through it, it's like what I think Jesse said in one of the discussions, right? That when you actually see it truly for what it is, that to take this total accountability is still difficult, right? It's still a lot of work to do. It's like happiness. It's like you decide that you just want to be happy, but happiness takes work.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then suddenly you feel like, oh shit, what did I get myself into? You know.
Yeah, I remember there's a movie line. One of my favorite movie, Closer, is like talking about how this character wants to be depressed. That's what depressive did. They want to be depressed, and the other guy is like, everybody wants to be happy. That's impossible. What if you're happy about being depressed, or at least you part of you actually is glad that you're fucking depressed.
Kind of like then you're off the hook, right?
Oh yeah, you can but
Yeah.
in
But,
that
oh,
way, it's
depressed.
not taking full accountability as well in that way.
But okay, so then this is the process where how much we can do this, right? So once again, where a lot of time we present these like frameworks or uh, steps or cycles of training is always an iterative process. It's not like, can you do this? It's like, how much can we do this? We can all do this, but to varying degrees of effectiveness. How much can we do this? And then can we do it a little bit more? And right now, we are at the event horizon, like we've been saying at the week 8 of training, where it's between determinacy. It's kind of between what we think is going on, right? Because a lot of us, maybe is one set or multiple set, we have reached, or especially in week 7 space element, some of us like have massive opening, and then we can see like a kind of like a perfect symmetry when we just sit down and everything just unraveled and resolved, and you're just like, oh, this is a state, this is a state, like, oh my God, the most fantastical thing ever. We got that experience. And maybe it was a long experience in week 7, maybe it was multiple experience leading up to that, or it's also like something you experienced before in a psychedelic experience or in the ceremonies or a long retreats or whatever, that you find that ability to just flip out. But then the problem is life unfolds. It loses its supposed symmetry. Now it's also about like, oh, I can't stay in one state and it just continue. All these things pops out, pops out, pops out in that way.
Yeah. Kind of remind me what we said in the beginning about finding synchronization.
Yeah.
It's
Because
like seeing the synchronization even when things are asymmetrical. Seeing the symmetry in even asymmetrical patterns.
yeah. So then we have to talk about the unfolding of time, right? The unfolding of events and what they means. And then we can like, okay, there must be a final destination where all of these things make sense. That's our teleological impulse, right? We want to find meanings. We want to find the ultimate life purpose. This must make sense in that way. But in the unfolding of all these like potential lines, then we ask, you have to choose. You have to choose to follow one line.
Yeah. Yeah, I think all works of art also comes down to finding symmetry. Like good work of art that has a certain symmetry in there. But then when you talk about symmetry, you cannot talk about it alone without a symmetry, because like even harmony only it comes into existence because of dissonance, and composers always play with that. That's the only way that music is enjoyable and it tickles our senses because of that contraction expansion contrast.
So with this contrast, then the matter with time is when it's lead to the tipping point before in our life, or maybe right now that we experience in the boot camp, and all the asymmetrical just tipped and then become symmetrical, how did you feel when that built up? Like, did you feel like, okay, I don't really even see how I'm going to I don't see a future beyond that point right now. I don't know what's going to happen. Like that could be a kind of like a financial stress that you have to deal with before. Like, I don't know if I can make it or not. I mean, I reckon for the mothers here, it could be like pregnancy, right? Like my life's gonna change in 9 months, and that the due date is on the calendar, and I can't see life beyond that very much. I just know there's gonna be a huge event that's gonna happen, leading to that point, like an actual birth or whatever the kind of launch that we have to do with that. And then we see that okay, there's gonna be a point where all of these kind of patterns gonna click in like that. Or it could be before you know what the next chapter is about, how do you contend with the in-between state? Right. There was a picking of symmetry of like, oh, so like the entire life chapters, that 5 years leads to this point, and we feel so content, like so fulfilled and all these things. But then it is starting to have the next phase starting to creep in. and the symmetry is starting to be erode, entropy kicks in, and now you have to start a new one. Yeah. Or it could be flipped, right? It could be the other way, which is like you feel like it's going like shit, but there's actually some signs of equanimity, so-called making peace or resolution with it, starting to dawn. How did you feel about that? And the matter with time, the third one is what stood out as the moments when you invalidate the trajectories, when life is not what it seems. You feel like, oh, I'm definitely going to be that guy, and then you're not that guy anymore. It's like, oh, I thought it's going to be like this, but then it becomes like this. And how do you feel? We're like, oh, so that means that I can live my life in a way that something can happen totally beyond my calculation or my prediction, but I'm still here. So what is the implication of that?
Yeah, what's faith got to do with it?
Yeah, and yeah, precisely. Then what does fate have to do with it? Like, is there a greater plan? And yeah, then what stood out as the moments when a previous theme reemerged? Like, oh, I'm over that. Now, are you? And it comes back. It comes back again, and it comes back again. It comes back again. So it could be things that you thought this thing never gonna end, and then it ended, or you think that this thing definitely have ended, and it reemerges. Right. So all of these themes, the matter with time, is quite tricky to contend with it, and it's a big ask for week 8 for us to sort these through, right? So today, like I'm saying, special show. So I want to invite all of us to through the use case of one of the phenomenal show that basically is deeply interwoven with my path and my fate, I would say, is the Frank Yang show. So through the matter with the Frank Yang show, we'll take a look and see and contemplate what the fuck is this guy about? How did his show evolve? How did he evolve? And that's what we do to kind of like have an exercise on time and also to shout out and celebrate and see how did Frank contend and his commentary on all the different aspects of himself that had unfolded through time. So we're not going to break our room immediately. We're going to run through one artifact first, but I have prepared 11 artifacts, 11 videos from Frank throughout the years. And there will be 3 groups. Each group will have 3 videos with it. And then you guys can separate and watch and then contend with the questions. I've also prepared a document that so you can take a look at. But first, let's take a look at this time, 10 years ago, Screen Odyssey, Frank Yang on a Modern Addiction.
I think we as modern hominids are addicted to screens. My friend didn't have a phone for the first week that he was traveling with me, and I had my new iPhone 6 and was looking at it 24/7 myself, and I found him constantly staring over my shoulder. And I told him not to stare, not to look at my conversations, but he said that he wasn't, that he just wanted to look at a screen. Even upon entering a city like New York or Shanghai, I found myself perceiving not the roads or the people or the shops, but my mind automatically gravitates towards whatever screen that I happen to come across. I read a theory about us being attracted to screens because we're visual animals and that the pronounced movements and colors and shapes inside screens are analogous to glittering snakeskins and sprinting prey, and that we're evolved to gravitate occasionally towards these things. Maybe, who knows, perhaps it's true from a biological standpoint. But seen from a certain phenomenological or conceptual perspective, screens are portals to another reality, another dimension, another space-time, another mind.
I really have to kiss on it.
Yeah, like lick it.
Lick it, lick it, lick it.
Looking at the screen is satisfying because it's kind of like penetrating or fucking another world, similar to the way you enter into another person through sex and penetration. It's seen from the same perspective, you can understand why I film all the girls that I've been with holding a phone with an image of me trapped inside the screen, as if I am trapped inside a vagina, and in turn, they're trapped inside my heart, and vice versa. So the phone on the screen is not just receptive like a vagina, but it is also phallic. The way you ejaculate out information to disseminate the brains, to give new ideas, or the way a person's soul is captured through the screen when you photograph or film her. Seen this way, the screen is a sex organ that is sort of androgynous. It transcends the dichotomy of male and female, and through it, we all live inside each other. So cell phones and technological devices are not also mental organs, they're external brains. They're tools we use to expand and extend our minds. They're actually a chunk of our brain as we store our memories, our thoughts. Screens are not just portals to another world, but it's also the representation of modern, aka digital civilization. The closer you are to the heart of modernity, the more screens you can bear witness. The further away you move towards the ghettos of New York or the royals of China or the African safari for that matter, the less screens there are. It's almost as if the virtuals pile up on top of each other, becoming denser and more real until eventually, with virtual reality becoming full-blown reality, we enter into the matrix completely and the virtual becomes the real. But keep in mind that the African safari or anywhere else that's perceived by anyone with or without an actual screen nevertheless has a screen. The screen that is the mind. The movie player inside your head that plays anything that you imagine or sees is the most fundamental screen in your reality. If you look around, people are all very eager to enter into their iPods, their iPhones, their computer, TV screens, monitors. And they're glued to their screens as if they are waiting in line to enter into virtual reality. I think this is a rather strange phenomenon because we're now stuck in the in-between state. We're almost entering into virtual reality, but not yet. We're halfway in between the real and the virtual. I think once we enter or immerse ourselves into the virtuals completely, there will again be no more screens. We'll be back to square one, into a new primitive future world where no physical screens exist, simply because we no longer need them. We'll come full circle to a singularity of one absolute screen, reality, mind, with no boundaries. So I tried to materialize this concept video or doing a performance where I strapped my iPhone on my crotch. I did this in 3 stages. First, I played the violin and display a video of me lifting weights. And then I flipped the two around to create max effort, mind and body contrast. Things started to get pretty weird when I moved into the last development, when I pressed the record button on my phone and turned everything inside out, and the spectators, instead of taking pictures of me, they became absorbed by the image of themselves, thus they appeared on my cock.
Interesting you showed that one. That video is interesting because a few things because well I also got a news for that one and I intentionally wanted to
Were you arrested?
no I wasn't arrested for that but my intention was to like get on the news again but to show people that I'm more than just a meathead in Taiwan. Yeah. So I actually went through this whole year where that was my project. I was like I wanted to get as ripped as I can and just really get into the peak fitness of violin and then play naked in Taiwan on the street. That was a project. And also shout out to Josh Penn. It's funny because you know this is so interesting because well I don't know how much you guys know but Alex is like another incarnation of Josh Penn. So many similarities. You're the first one that pointed it out, Con. But then when Alex was telling me how he's contending with his what happened to his mom, Josh Penn also like when I first met him, his mom passed away, and then he was really contending with that. He's still contending with that. And around this time was that was one of the see all both of those videos that you showed. Maybe I forgot, but there was something about Josh Penn. It was like I always used his music for a while, but then I think that was one of the last videos that I actually used his music because I think there was a part of me that got really hurt because he abandoned me for Skrillex. And then we're contending with that same karma with like Khan and CC. It's interesting. And after that, I was like, I don't think you can use my music anymore. It's like copyrighted now. It's like under Skrillex's label or something like that. But people here would just make music for my videos, and it's like that was a phase when I was contending with that. Yeah.
My question is, and Frank, probably that you should not interfere with people interpretation as well. So let's just hear what the people see. My question is, what do you think that capture Frank's attention that so much that he have to generate a video like that? What does he care about in making that video? Now, of course, we know a little bit about Frank just saying about 2015 when it got in the news, beyond more than a meathead. So that's one interpretation. From your guys' perspective, when you see that, what drives Frank to make that video? You see. One at a time now. No need to rush.
I can start.
Yeah, Kai.
What's up, Kyle? Good to see you.
What's up? What's up? That was a crazy video, man. I haven't seen that one. Yeah, well, the first thing that comes to mind when Con asked that question now was like to illuminate distraction. And that's what I thought of, like the whole screens thing is like to illuminate the distracted nature of like the human mind, maybe like how people are yeah, also like maybe constantly looking outside of themselves, like looking for something out there in a screen rather than looking back here. And then also like an expression of, or like a way to explore and express the nature of consciousness, like just some of the things at the end of like, yeah, the stuff about like you're the universe perceiving yourself through this form or, so like maybe you were trying to, yeah, use all the different dynamics of the video of like humans and screens and to represent like human consciousness and how like, yeah, like the reflective nature of the mind and kind of the perceiver and being perceived. And yeah, the aspect of, I like the aspect of putting your phone in your crotch and people are looking where they are at. But then I don't know, maybe not seeing the larger picture.
It's an interesting flip when he's saying that the third experiment of that is to make that video, make that iPhone into a camera, right? Like that's where it really flipped for
Yeah.
people. They become super engaged, like they get super close now. Like, oh,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
before.
because it's seeing
Like,
themselves.
yeah,
Yeah,
it was very interesting.
yeah, it is.
All right, thank you, Kyle. Any other perspective on this? What do you, Jason, Albert think? Or maybe also ask some of our team members who's been working relating with Frank for a while. What do you guys think? Junhong, you like this stuff?
That your king,
Yeah.
Chung Hong?
My favorite YouTube. I have only two favorite YouTuber before CC. It was Frank, and the other is named Wee, but he just got into jail. So
Oh, who is it?
it's just a Malaysian YouTuber.
Makes sense.
Got into jail for murder.
What? You're into him?
Oh wait, who is it? Let me see. Let me see what it's about.
You don't know,
Did
Junhong.
you send a link? Did you send a link to the?
I will send it later. I'll send
Oh,
it
okay.
later.
I thought you sent a
So
link.
for you, Junhong, were you aware of this part of Frank before like you further engage with his like much later material when it's much more focused on so-called spirituality,
Yeah,
awakening?
yeah. This was what drawn me to Frank actually more than the meditation stuff.
I
It was
see.
the crazy shit like making fun of the nun and all those stuff.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
That makes sense from your perspective, being a Singaporean, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, I wanted to say that the some of the songs from that video, I recently just started using them again. I recently started using Josh Ben music again. I don't know why. Yeah.
So the question was what captures Frank, is it?
Yeah. What captured Frank so much that drives him to make this video?
Everything that I'm criticizing there that people are captured by, pussy, screens.
Yeah, the exact same thing that he's talking about.
Yeah, exactly.
Controversy too.
Yeah.
Captured by controversy.
Okay, so real quick, second question is what is the recurring theme that permeates through Tam? So that video 10 years ago and now, do you see still like a congruence? Like there's still the sameness, even so-called that's before Frank's spiritual journey really kickstarted. So-called before. What permeates through Tam? What transcend even so-called Frank so-called stop doing those crazy stunts, but he's really still the same guy.
Oh, narcissism prevails everything.
There's a transgressive, right? Like you're just constantly seeing the boundary and pushing, right? Whether it's your own or whether it's other people's, like always something you're transgressing.
Yeah, that's why the zooming in and out of screens, continuously zooming out of screen, invalidating the current screen with the previous
Yeah.
screen, the
Well,
boundaries of screens.
I think people don't know what to do with you. I think that's a common theme too. Because it's like, I want to judge you, but I don't know what to judge. You know what I mean? It's like, what the fuck is he talking? What? It's just a lot of visual imagery. It's like watching porn with like 5 different screens and like having like different images of like porn stars.
Yeah,
Like
and
just
everyone in the porn movie are all fucking to screens themselves.
yeah, like I don't know if I'm watching porn.
Screens.
Like if I'm watching porn or like I don't, you know what I mean? Like my mind can't like, am I aroused or am I angry or like I'm a little anxious here? Like I don't like there's always that kind of I don't know, maybe not always with every video you post, but certainly like it's like where are we going?
It's just a screen, bro. It's just pixels. Why are you mad at pixel, bro?
Yeah, so it's tricky because then Frank can pull the move of like, it's just a video, bro. Why are you getting mad and horny and rage and everything? Like, why are you taking it so seriously, bro? But then we gotta play in Frank's game, right? Because like then he's getting into your head.
You know, there's Frank has
I don't even
his
have.
own thoughts on why he made all those videos, but like if you ask the question of what transcends through time in his videos is this display of non-patterning of reality, you know. So Albert was saying like I don't know how to feel about all that, right? And it's kind of like that is the point, that you can't pin it down, you can't pin reality down. And whether Frank was or has been aware of that message, it has been coming through this. There is no pattern. Is he a violin player? Is he a bodybuilder? Is he a philosopher? Is he a sex crazed maniac? You know, what is he? You can't pin him down, and just and so the same, you can't pin down reality, and it points to that
That's
for
wonderful.
ourselves. Mhm.
But okay, there's much more to go. Like I'm saying, there's 10 videos, 10 video more. So how we're gonna do?
We're gonna watch 10 videos in this call like that?
No.
All right,
So
okay,
this is
good.
how we're gonna do it. So, okay, can you guys see my screen now? Okay, so the Frank Yang Show debrief. How does our life purpose emerge? Is it revealed through looking into one spectacular moment or the grand total of everything we've been through? So in today's review, I want to invite us to contemplate on life trajectories to the case study that is our very own Frank Yang and his creations. So how are we going to do this? So now we're going to split into 3 groups of discussion. Discussion prompt will be, there's all these artifacts. Group number 1, artifact number 1, artifact number 2, artifact number 3, age restricted. You need to sign into YouTube to watch this one. This is Jay's group. Group number 2 will be Albert's group. This one is also age restricted. Artifact number 5, number 6 also age restricted. Group number 3 will be Chunhong, 7, 8, and 9. If you guys have time, this is bonus one. This is my favorite, probably favorite own time Frank's video. This one. So how we're going to do this is ensure that all artifacts will be reviewed. So when we split into 3 groups, right? Let me also, can some of the mentors also share this link in the group chat? Yeah. In the first 10 minutes, each participant individually go through the material. Maybe you in Jay's group, and some of you guys would watch artifact number 1. Some of you guys will watch artifact number 2 or 3. In the following 30 minutes, so the total runtime discussion space will be 40 minutes. Discuss based on these following prompts, like we just said, what captures Frank or what interests Frank and captures his attention. Number 2, what is a recurring theme that permeates through all the artifacts until now? Number 3, how has Frank evolved? And number 4, what is the Frank Yang Show about? All right. So now we're going to split the groups. But before that, I want to mention that this is a birthday present for you, Frank. So please chill out, relax, and just hop from room to room to see how people see, and refrain from giving you your commentary, because now it's about the audience analyzing you. Right. So of course you have your perspective, but if you say that, it will affect how people perceive your art. So you can't say it. You can just watch. Yeah, Jace.
Yeah, basically shut up and don't talk. Yeah.
Yeah. So you're just being there. You maybe in the first 10, 15 minutes, you can be in Jay's group. The next one is in Albert's group. The next one is in Chunhong's group. By the way, let me make sure you guys can record. I think Chunhong can record, right? Okay. Yeah. So we do that. And then when we come back, then we can really debrief together about the big topic of the element of time, which is how does maturation happen? How does wisdom emerge and reveal our life purpose? Because just through these activities that we're about to do and we've been doing, like at that point of the production of these artifacts, Frank may not even be aware of this, but all of that is directly linked to today as well, right? We're seeing like, oh, from all these 2008 2012, 2015, 2016, 20, 19, blah, 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 link to 2025. And then how does that, like, oh, so no life moment wasted. Then how does that inform us the way we live our life? So I want to make Jay's host actually. Okay. And we also, Jace, can you also hit, oh, it's still recording. That's great. And Jace, can you generate 3 breakout room? Just hit on generate 3 breakout rooms and yeah. Because I'm also going to be hopping from room to room because I think I have an unfair advantage of how much I watched Frank before. So I want fresh eyes to take a look and see how you guys analyze Frank.